Hello, I'm Dr. Cécile Cosculuela. Welcome to this ESL video on English grammar, and more precisely on the passive voice. In this second video on the passive voice, we're going to focus on the global picture of verb forms, and more precisely, the point is to know how to conceive of B plus VEN among the other verb operators. Where does it stand? How does it work? So the answer to that question, and to get a global picture, it is useful to look at the English verb equation, where we can see that B plus VEN here is part of the orange operators, which are operators that are optional and compatible with one another, but not with the green one, do plus V0. And also they cannot be used without VS or VED, which are compulsory anytime we give a form to a verb. So this is there's a more detailed version of the answer to that question in the English verb matrix, in which we can see the passive voice here, number 5, the fifth element in the verb equation. So the question is, do I use the passive voice or do I use the active voice? So the 0 here stands for the absence of the passive voice, which is obviously the active voice. So the passive voice can be used without a modal or with a modal. And obviously it is compatible, as we can see in all the examples here, it is compatible with all of the 8 tenses in English. That is to say, it is compatible with the present tense, with the present B plus ing. Yeah, I should have said the present simple and the present B plus ing, and then it's also compatible with the present perfect simple and the present perfect B plus ing. So you can see the examples here in the active voice and the examples here in the passive voice. And once you understand that the passive voice is compatible with any of the 4 present tenses of English, then it's easy to see that it works exactly the same in the past tense. So we're going to go faster and say right away that the passive voice is compatible with any of the 4 past tenses of English. That is to say, the past simple, the past B plus ing, the past perfect simple, and the past perfect B plus ing. And as I was saying before, the examples here that are circled are examples in which there is no modal, because actually if there is a modal in a verb form, it appears in number 2. It's the second operator that is mentioned in the verb equation. But it's not part of the basic tenses in English. So here are examples without a modal in the active voice, without a modal in the passive voice, and then at the bottom of this table, of this verb matrix, we can see examples with a modal in the active voice and in the passive voice. So this might look complex at first, but if you understand that it's always the same parameters that are repeated, then it is really, really clear, because this holistic and synoptic presentation of verb tenses really enables you to see all of it, to get the big picture really in just one look. Obviously, it is less complex, let's say, if we just look at the verb equation, which also has all the elements in it because we find all the operators that appear in the verb matrix, except here the combinations need to be imagined. They're not really developed like they are in the verb matrix. So that's it for the global picture. And we now have a clear idea of where the passive voice stands in relation to the other operators. And we know that it works in a binary system with the active voice, which is represented here by 0. In the next video, we'll go into more detail the question will give more detail on the question of how to form the passive voice. But that's it for now. That's it for this video. Thank you for your attention, and I'll see you in the next video. And in the meantime, I wish you all the best.